worst fucking bit of all time.
No, it's bad.
We are live, fresh off of a loss, but I have to tell you, Linnell, with Linnell Willingham, I'm Denton Day. This is the best I think I've ever felt after a Commanders loss.
Hell yeah!
Every single box that I wanted to see was checked, including the actual loss itself. Played hard as hell. Defense performed well. Offense performed well. Line performed well. Still lost the football game to better your draft stock to get a badass defensive end in the 26th draft. I felt great about what I saw tonight.
Have to feel good. All three phases were good. You played hard. On the defensive side, I thought there were a couple of schematic tweaks that you saw tonight with them playing that 3-4 defensive front a lot more. Really good play call from Dan Quinn, doing something that you don't traditionally see. Jacob Martin lined up as a stand-up guy over the center, and then they drop him back into coverage. You don't see that a lot. He's a heck of an athlete. That's why I was able to work. Offensively, this offensive line, to me, is the thing that really impressed me tonight. Marcus Mariota dropped back 50 times, yet he was only sacked twice. You're going up against probably the best, not even probably, the best defense in the NFL, the best defensive front in the NFL, and they handled themselves like G's, man. Josh Connolly was awesome. That holding at the end was total BS.
Nonsense.
He played well. Larry Tunsil played well. I thought Chris Paul, everybody played well, man, along that offensive line. And then Terry McLaurin, dog. I don't know what anybody out there, if y'all still hating on Terry doing this weird-ass bit of turning your back on him, but are you kidding me? He is him. Point blank. He's him.
He did that against arguably the best corner in the NFL.
Yeah. Yes.
And he saw, it's not like, I know Riley Moss got targeted and that hurts, right? Like he is a rare breed. But McLaurin saw Surtain the entire night.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he was not ducking the smoke. They were still targeting him. I was thrilled with what I saw from Terry. I didn't like the pitch count at times because having him off the field on crucial third downs sucked. But outside of that, when Terry matched up with Patrick Surtain, I didn't feel bad about that at all. And Terry showed it. This was one of the best games of his career.
Yes. Finishes with, is it 7 for 96 of the final numbers? I don't think he broke 100.
He was really close to breaking 100.
But 7 for 96 against Pat Surtain is not.
If that initial touchdown had stood, he would have been well over 100. What a
catch that was. Like, that was a hell of a catch.
A hell of a catch. Final numbers on Terry, 7 for 96. Zach Ertz had 10 for 106. He also had the drop that is not going to go over well on the socials. But Zach Ertz was a big-time player in this one for Mariota.
Oh, now Zach Ertz. I mean, I don't think Zach Ertz should be getting a whole bunch of flack for the drop. Like, it was a high pass. It was really good cover. Like, it's a tough play to make, man. Point blank. They were awesome offensively. Look at what we did tonight, man. We had over how many yards offense did we have? We damn near cracked 400 yards offense against Denver. Y'all realize they give up 15 points a game? Like, it was amazing. You had 419 yards of offense against the best defense in football with a backup quarterback. Like, come on, man. This is what gets me excited because I told you this is what the last 6 was about. I'm trying to find dudes that I can count on moving forward. Trayon Burks, brother.
Welcome to the party.
Give me a deal.
Hey, social media was right on him. You
yes.
know, I've seen a bunch of people being like, Trayon Burks this, Trayon Burks that. I'm like, listen, guys, like, he was not all that good in Tennessee. There's a reason he's here. Like, what's going on? Well, I was wrong. Left hand, right hand up because he caught that pass with his right hand. That was one of the more insane catches ever. Like, point blank, period. Odell Beckham-esque from all the way back on Sunday Night Football with the Giants. And it just came out of nowhere, too. You're like, I didn't know that was in his bag at all because I didn't know anything about Trayon Burks. So get him on the team next year. I've seen enough. Get him a multi-year deal. Not a big one, but get him a multi-year deal. He needs to be on the team next year.
Yeah, I like him opposite as like a true outside the numbers receiver. Good contested catch guy, blocks and competes. He's big and strong, man. I love it. And think about it, like, he's only been here for a month.
Yeah,
now to this point. So why wait until he's able to get a full grasp and understanding of the offense? I would love to bring him back. but also it doesn't deter me from going out and taking a big swing at the wide receiver spot either.
Honestly, if Trayon Burks is like your wide receiver 3 next year, that's a pretty good group then. That means you went out and got someone that you really, really trust to play wide receiver 2, still potentially keeping Debo as like a weapon X kind of thing on offense. I'd feel really good about that.
Yeah.
He's more available than Noah Brown.
Well, exactly. I think bringing him in there to compete as one of your outside guys is a big-time decision that you're going to have to make, one that I would make, quite frankly. But it doesn't stop me. Like I said, it doesn't stop me from going out and drafting one in round 1 if I like one. It doesn't stop me from spending big on one in free agency if I like one. He just has a familiarity here. We know him. We like him. I thought it was awesome. I feel like there's a couple other guys that I would like to individually highlight that played well tonight. Jerry McNichols, I mean, holy hell. I mean, I want him back on the team next year.
That guy's a third down demon.
Yeah, he just finds ways to get third in totally unmanageable, unachievable, unattainable, whatever you want to use. Like, he was really, really good again. The offensive line, to me, though, is what stands out the most about this victory. And Terry's gonna get plenty of love throughout the week. We're doing a brief post-game wrap-up here, so I don't want to spend too much time on that because that's the obvious. But the way that this offensive line and defensive line, for that matter, played, impressive, man. Impressive.
The D-line played the best game of the season for them, especially considering who they're working with. But a guy that you have been beating the drum for a long time, Eddie Goldman, once again played well.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's not getting a ton of snaps, but in the limited snaps that he gets, it feels like he usually is able to make a couple of different plays. Jerron Payne made some plays. Frankie Louvu made some plays. Wagner had an interception, also in coverage. That sucked. Didn't like that one one bit. McGee made some plays. We wanted to see McGee on the field. McGee was on the field. Good things happen when Jordan McGee is on the field.
Yeah, I thought he played well tonight. Having him at that edge allows you to run that 3-4 look that we saw more because he could actually drop into coverage. I am down for them running 3-4 next year as well.
I think I am too.
My whole concern was we don't have the nose tackle to do it. Yeah, you do. You low-key do. Yeah. Eddie, Javon, and Payne can all play nose. And the way that it is you're lined up in the 2A gaps and you're making stuff happen. I thought they were just stout at the point of attack. Denver at its core, like Sean Payton wants to run the ball. And I thought their ability to stop them on the early downs. Remember what we said in the pregame, how you stop them. You make them one-dimensional. You make Bo Nix beat you. He played a hell of a game, by the way. Seriously, like Bo Nix is a really good athlete.
He's really good on the run.
Yeah, superb athlete.
Yeah, he excels throwing with accuracy on the run.
I'm super duper impressed by him. Deron Payne, after getting suspended, came back and played strong. I see people in the chat, talking about his 7 losses in a row. Here's what it is at this point.
Yeah, this season's lost, guys. Like, what did you think that they were going to win this game and then make a surge for the playoffs? Like, let's be realistic here. Yeah. The season is lost, but that's why we're so excited. Like, it's midnight. I got to wake up in 3 hours. It's midnight, and I'm excited because my team played well and they still achieved the goal that I wanted them to, which was not winning the football game. You're getting better positioning in the draft, but you still you realize you have some stuff still on that roster.
Yes.
And you're playing with your backup quarterback who, for the love of God, cannot stay on the field. Like literally, he cannot keep both of his feet on the field on certain plays to save his life. The amount of jump passes the man is throwing in the year of our Lord 2025 needs to be stopped.
Yeah, literally. Amen to that.
But I love what I saw in total from the team. This was, we're watching this with Doc. Doc sitting in the other booth, right? We're watching this with Doc, and Doc kept asking me, he's like, have you seen them play better this year against a quality opponent? And the answer was no, I have not. Like, this was a great game in all of the phases. You got a little screwed by officiating here and there. I mean, I think if Denver is running some semblance of this show, they're probably complaining about the officiating too. That was a bad group of officials.
Yeah, it was.
They got punked by Tressway too, which I thought was hilarious. At the coin flip.
Yeah.
I mean, Tressway just broke all of the rules and it somehow worked. They didn't know what they were doing officiating wise, but I still thought the team played really, really well.
I do too. I think that's the best way that I'm going to put it. And I'll steal it from Doc. I steal everything from Doc. I love stealing from Doc. It's the best. Yeah, that was their best performance of the season. Man, close. That was their best performance of the season. Opponent, taking into consideration the fact that, here's what I'll say. there's so many different storylines to go from this. That's why off of a loss is so fun, because you can go positive and negative. I was of the belief, based on the way this team played before the Madrid game, that Dan Quinn, maybe the message was getting stale. For them to come out of the bye, fighting their ass off the way that they did, says everything about the belief that they have in Dan Quinn, their willingness to play for him. He's a hell of a ball coach, man. And I know this year's been rough, and they've been crushed by the injury bug. But I look at this team and go, and watch the way they played tonight. You have to feel good about certain things that you have. The list is not long, but Terry McLaurin is great. Short.
Yeah.
Your offensive line is one of the better ones in the NFL. Your quarterback, when he's right, is at worst a top 12 quarterback, right? So there are things to build on here. Nikki Javala and John Kime, I go back to that convo we referenced in the pregame show. Kime asked Nikki, like, well, what are the building blocks on this team? Really, it's only Jaden in the offensive line. And Terry, that's a hell of a place to start, though, you know? So invest some more resources on the defensive side of the football. I think you can get away with – we're seeing right now with this offense, Terry, as long as you got a real number one,
you can
like
do some
Terry,
things.
you can do some things in this offense, because Cliff has done a good job of, like, the way that they attack every level of the defense. There's always a route runner in the flat. There's always a route runner at the second level, and then at the third level. They layer their concepts really well. You just got to have consistent guys in there doing it, man. And did Chris Collinsworth say this on the broadcast, that the practice squad players that were playing at wide receiver,
running the wrong routes against Seattle?
He got that nugget from somebody.
Yeah,
and it explains Jayden playing the way he did.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, because he said that. And he said that as if that was a common fact.
Yeah,
that
like everyone knew that. No.
And I was like, wait a second. I don't know that everyone knows that.
No, I don't think anyone knew it.
I don't know that.
Who got cut after that game? Was it Tay Martin?
I think it was Tay Martin. It was one of the.
No, I don't think he was here at that point.
Oh, I forget.
He had already gotten cut.
But I was like, maybe I missed the segment on the station where someone had mentioned that, but I didn't feel like that was mentioned ever again after like that whole Kurt Warner debacle. So I heard that, and I was like, well, that's a very interesting nugget, Chris Collinsworth. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But you are 100% right in that it is a massive difference. And look, we do like these offseason rankings with wide receiver positions during the offseason because we have 3 hours to kill Monday through Friday, right? So it's very easy for us to do that topic and then turn that into an entire show. There's a big time difference when Terry is on the field and playing versus when he is not. Like a massive difference. He took the best DB in the NFL and gave him 96 on the head top on a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like that is something that this offense has not been able to do. He opens up the offense for Zach Ertz to have his best performance of the season. I mean, what Terry brings to the offense is incredible. And to see him perform the way that he did on Sunday night while still on a pitch count it warmed my heart a little bit. I was like, this is what we've been wanting to see, and it validates at least the way that a lot of us feel, not everybody, but a lot of us feel that this is the guy that we want. Like this is our guy for a generation. He was with us in the awful. He was with us in the really good last year, and you want him to be around when they transition back into the really good, hopefully in 2026. So I loved what I saw from Terry today. And seeing him perform again, and I'm not going to stop beating this dead horse, seeing him perform again against Patrick Surtain the way that he did needs to be applauded.
I think someone just wrote it in the chat, and I'm going to confirm this. Washington's defense had ended with an interception. This is how they finished defensively. Interception, 3 and out, 7 and out, 3 and out. Then the touchdown ended. But they played their ass off defensively.
They played well enough to
they played their ass off
to win the football game.
Honestly. And I'm going to give credit, man. Like, I still think it has a little bit to do with Denver not being great offensively. 27 points is, I think, their second highest point total of the year. I think their highest was 33 earlier in this year.
They hit 44 against Dallas, so third. But
still,
for a team that's won 10 games and that is their third, like that's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was big time, man. They tackled really, but this is the thing. People are saying the defense was good because of Dan Quinn. I think there were some calls in there where the calls were good. They tackled today. The tackling I thought was outside of the was it Troutman or Evan Ingram that had a ridiculous run after breaking a tackle on the left sideline? One of those two.
That was it. The overtime one.
This was earlier.
Oh, this was early.
Yeah, but because you didn't really have the missed tackle problem after that.
No, there was just nobody in the frame.
Yeah,
Bobby Wagner was very much behind him when he caught that football.
But I thought, the defense for the second straight week, you're seeing them compete down in the red zone, and this bend but don't break style. I've been saying this for weeks now, and I'm about to pull up the offensive time of possession here. Dan, remember, I think I said this after Kansas City. They want to play a bend but don't break style defense. It's hard to do that when your offense is not possessing the football. For the first time in I don't know how long, Washington won the time of possession offensively.
Yeah.
The defense was allowed to get a rest. The pass rush is not consistent at all. Not consistent at all. But when you're rested and you give them an opportunity to, run some games and stunts up front and get your feet wet a little bit, being fresh, I think you see some good things that happen, man. I was really impressed by the performance of the defense. I don't know what to be more impressed about. The offense sounds like a radio topic. I don't know what to be more impressed with, the offense or the defense. Because the offense gets their own flowers. With a backup quarterback to do this against that defense, yes.
Incredibly impressive.
Yas Queen, word to Danny Rouillet. Love it.
Here are some numbers just to hammer that home. Washington had 30 first downs, which feels like their highest number of the season, compared to Denver's 23. They went 8 of 17 on third down, which that's a level of efficiency that we saw a lot last year, not so much this year. They ran 85 total plays, 419 yards, averaged just shy of 5 yards a play. That is the kind of football game that you want to see, and they only had 5 penalties for 35 yards. You'd like to take that number down. Again, the holding on Connerly I thought was nonsense. There was that false start illegal motion on Terry that was complete and utterly awful, to the point where even the broadcast crew said, hey, this call sucks. And then, as Linnell mentioned, they outpossessed Denver 35 minutes to 32 minutes and 13 seconds. So not a massive difference in time of possession, but still a significant one. I do got to ask before we wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Anyone else think that Jake Moody was going to miss? Like, just a little bit? Just a little bit?
I definitely thought he was going to doink it.
I was like, if he doinks this, or if you mentioned this when we were watching it, I was like, if that long snapper, who is very new, screws this up.
Yeah, dude. On his second field goal, Tress had to kind of like simulate it. Tress had to
he did
one of these.
He did the Trayon Burks thing.
Tress got hands, bro. That's a hard job. Y'all got, man, being a holder is one of the hardest jobs on the field. One, you got to trust that the kicker ain't gonna blow your hand up with his foot, and then the snap is hard to get down a lot of the times. But I thought there's a lot to be pleased with, and I'm curious to, pull some new angles out after giving it a second watch.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to look at second watch.
Yeah,
because
the offensive line, I think, that group, holy bleep, they played really well.
They played really, really well.
They played their ass off. ASS.
Final thoughts here.
Impressed. Glad that Dan Quinn hasn't lost the locker room. Let's do it again next week in Minnesota with Jaden Daniels on the center. By the way,
I was going to say that same
video from Miss Regina Jackson talking to a fan saying he'd be back next week.
I was going to say, let's do the same thing all over again, just with number 5 at quarterback. They're going to, they're going to beat Minnesota regardless of who plays quarterback, because I don't know if y'all watched the Vikings game today. This Brosmer kid is not very good, and J.J. McCarthy, a.k.a. 9, is not that much better. So they're going to beat Minnesota next week, and they're going to beat Minnesota with Jaden Daniels. All right, that's all we got. He's Linnell Willingham. I'm Denton Day. We got more throughout the course of the week, so go get some sleep. We're going to do the same thing. We'll be back recapping it this week. We're out of here.